Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I've got a very special one because we have another big update to my Daisuke Ichiba collection. I have been extremely lucky, to say the least, for these past couple of finds, and these three books in particular I have not seen anywhere at all, so extremely lucky to have been able to find all of these. And so I will be flicking through them in this video. It might be a shorter one, but I'm just excited to show these off because in terms of how I found them, pretty much just through a secondhand bookstore, was able to get it through proxy shipping. And I guess I was lucky because I was doing a gamble of sorts where there were no pictures or anything for two of these books, these two. So I recognize the titles of them, but I've never heard of, like, I knew of this one, Heartbreak, but this one I've never even heard of. So I wanted to just go for it because I thought, if it turns out to be right, then big payoff. And it did really pay off. So really excited. So I've got three books here. This one is called Onna no Kokoro, which means a woman's heart. This one is called Heartbreak, and then this one, there's two titles of it because there's two stories. One is like a belly button frog or navel frog, and then the next story is Ezumi's Masked Rider. And so what happened was I got these two first, so I guess I'll show these two. So I haven't read any of them because there is technically some manga in here, but this one I had known for years, ever since I was introduced to Ichiba Daisuke. I would say probably late 2022 to 2023. I've always known of this particular book, but I've never been able to find it. So I'm so happy that I actually have this now. So this is an art book of Ichiba. Here's the front and back. I really love this cover. I am a really big fan of when Ichiba uses like these lighter colors like this, and it's I would say out of all of the covers for his art book, I still think this is quite a unique one, because some of his other art books, for example, like more simple covers or more chaotic, this one's got a good blend of like all these colors, but at the same time just the white drawing here. So this one was published in 2013, so it collects a bunch of works up to the first half of 2013, and it's formatted similarly to Ichiba's other art books, so a lot of chaos in all these pages. And so you may see some art pieces, for example this one. I actually have this piece of artwork as the LDC form of it. So LDC put out a yellow and blue silkscreen print of this. I think it was like 50 to 70 centimeters. I have this actually framed, so amazing to see this in black and white. But it also includes some manga. Like there's this manga called The Story of Dobuo Kosutegawa, somewhere here. I'm not too sure where because I haven't actually read it yet. And then there's a very tiny story with the titular title of Heartbreak. So it looks like this might be the manga. I'm not too sure because I really want to just sit down and be able to read this and just go through at my own pace. So we are kind of both experiencing this book for the first time. This has also been put out as a print as well by LDC. So a lot of these you'll see from LDC, and it's a great mix again if you are familiar with Ichiba's art books of this erogura, but also some of the heta-uma stylings as well, which I really love. So to my knowledge, there aren't any color pages in these, which is totally fine for me. And I will, looks like we've come to the manga section. I will have to, of course, censor pages throughout the video. But if you are seeing Ichiba for the first time, you will be noticing a lot of chaos everywhere. And I do want to eventually make a video with the prints that I have, because I've been reading up more on Ichiba, just as you know, while I was looking up these books, I was just reading up on his backstory. I will put a link in the description, but it has quite a detailed summary of Ichiba's influences, how he got to making art like this, how his character Ezumi had been created. So Ezumi is this, it's kind of like their muse. So you see this girl who has an eye patch because she's got a deformed eye. It was inspired by a convenience store clerk that he saw back in the 90s or something, and that seeing her had like evoked a lot of emotions from him, so he decided to include her as like a recurring character. So Ezumi is the very first one, and we consistently see that character till now even, and then the frog is the second character that was created. But this, if you may remember, this is actually the cover page, the back and front actually, of the Romance Mure gigantic art book put out by, I think it was United Dead Artists. So it's kind of like got a green cover to that. So yeah, amazing stuff. And then, so here's the end of it. And then the next book that I got was this one. So this is probably the most exciting pickup I've had this year so far. I know there's only been 3 months of the year so far, but number one is because I myself, you know, when it comes to Ichiba has created such a large amount of works, whether that is manga, art books, prints, all this type of stuff. And you know, they've been a mixture of self-published, put out by other publishers, and all that type of stuff. But this one I've never even heard of, so I would not say that, you know, I'm an expert with knowing every single thing that he's put out, because you know, his very first works, first couple of works, they are impossible to find. So you know, there's no way I'll ever own everything. But this one here, A Woman's Heart, is probably I think it is actually the earliest work that I have from Ichiba, because this is from 1996. I have to double check when he debuted. Sometime since then, probably 1994, 3. I'll double check and I'll put the link in the description. But yeah, this is the earliest book that I have from Ichiba. Never have seen this ever before. This is published by Cosmo 9, much like the I'm pretty sure Heartbreak was also Cosmo 9, but quite a thick one, quite a thick book. So as I start to flick open, you'll see a combination of a lot of like prose, well, text, mixed in with the artwork, and you will see a clear difference, a clear distinction between the artwork in this book and Heartbreak, because you know, Heartbreak's 2013, this is 1996. So look how raw that is in terms of his artwork. You can tell this is early Ichiba, and that's why this is such a treasured book for me now, because you know, I did not know of its existence, and finally having this in my hands and really seeing the growth from this over every year, you know, because he's been making books, artwork, and releasing something at least once a year, or maybe once every 2 years, something like that. And yeah, this is a unique one because it's a lot of writing actually throughout, but there are a bunch of artworks dispersed throughout, collages, sketches, and as usual, I will have to censor a lot of these, unfortunately. But this is so cool. Like that's the front cover. Love that so much. Tons of photography as well. So you know, you can even tell the lines are a lot thicker there. In his more recent stuff, the lines are a bit more fine. There's a lot more detail put throughout. This one definitely has a rougher feel to everything. And I have no idea what this is about, but I would not, it probably is kind of like a nonsensical barrage of words. I'll zoom in a bit to this. Yeah, you can tell even the eyes, the lips especially, are drawn and rendered differently to how he does it now. The hair also is drawn differently too. And yeah, when you search this book up, can't really find any images of the inside. Well, this picture reminds me of, actually, there is a cover of a manga by Maruo Suehiro, this like ninja looking guy. Reminds me a lot of that. Don't know what the name of that manga is, but if you know Maruo, then you probably know what I'm talking about. I'll try to find it and put it in the description as well. Yeah, take a look at that. Yeah, super excited. And also another hint as well to an upcoming video. I don't know when that will come out because I've got to wait for the actual things to come. But this is not the last addition to Ichiba. There's more Ichiba coming. More Ichiba, but less on the rare side, This, I feel like I've spent my entire year's worth of luck on these pickups alone. So, the ones that I'm getting later, they are more easily accessible. And you can, they're in stock. But this is like impossible to find. Oh, I love this one so much. Yeah, just in absolute awe of holding this in my hand and seeing just the evolution of his art. I think, does that mean desire maybe? I know that's one of the kanji for desire, I don't know. There probably will be a lot of censoring actually throughout. I mean, I don't care, it's worth it. Come on, look at this stuff. We don't see too many of these types of, I guess, life forms in later works. They're more human later, but not that we don't see aliens or monsters or anything like that, but like that specific amalgamation of viscera. It's really interesting. Love how dark the ink is on all of this. So yeah, the latter half of the book doesn't seem to have too much text. I think that says like destruction or something from my memory, if I'm reading that right. Yeah, not any manga in here, so just photography, illustrations, and text. Oh, this one's cool. Interesting framing here. You can see the actual rectangle frame. And coming to the last couple pages of the book. Love that. Looks like a... First thing I thought of was a cat's cradle, but I don't even know what that is. That is string. That's why I thought of a cat's cradle. And then I also thought of a stigmata as well, because it's on a palm. And the last thing... Oh, I should have said this at the start. But I did do a brief flick through. I'm not sure. But if you take a look at this to me looks like it's signed. Like I can't actually tell exactly, even in real life, I'm just shining the light on it. I can't really say whether that, well, I'm leaning towards that being actually wet signed. It looks wet signed. Like, I don't think every book of this has his signature. So I'm going to say, because I do actually think that this is signed. So not only did I find this insanely rare book, but I found it signed, which is why I said, just watch the entirety of 2026 go by and I find nothing good for the whole year, because I spent it all on this. Like, it's crazy. I genuinely do think this is signed. I kept trying to find pictures online. Again, there's not many pictures of this at all, no matter what. Only just the cover. None of like the interior. So to find pictures of the interior back page to see whether this is like signed or not, impossible. But I really do think this is signed. I don't know whether the video quality and lighting can show really the texture of this part of the book, but I think it's signed. Like you can tell, like the ink is different too. I don't know. I just think I'm gonna say it's signed. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But like I genuinely think this is signed. So I'm just gonna say it's signed. It's crazy because I had a good look at that like signature for a couple minutes, just trying to figure it out, and I think it is. So yeah, my luck has been absolutely insane. So yeah, these two I found first, and then a little bit later, this one actually popped up in quick succession actually. This is a bit of a shorter book, but yet another rare book from Ichiba, though this is actually a reprinting. So this is the book titled Belly Button Frog and Ezumi's Masked Rider. So the original version of this, which has a green cover, that actually came out in 1998. So only 2 years after A Woman's Heart. This one is the 2005 second reprinting. I think there's only been two, like the original in one reprint. So it's interesting because like, yeah, 7 years after they reprinted that, also by Cosmo 9. And yeah, it features two stories, these two. And just a background to it, so as I said before, Ezumi is the first character that he created, a recurring character, and then the Belly Button Frog is the second one. And he intended to, like, it was a very different direction that he had with the frog, because as you can tell, the frog is very cute looking, but of course it is mixed into his world of chaos. So yeah, the format of this book is more leaning towards like a majority of it being manga. Sometimes you will have some sections where it's a big collage with the usual illustrations, but we do follow this frog more throughout their adventures. So big on the Heta Uma vibes, but you have a mix of just chaos happening throughout. And so that was like the first story. And then now we come to Ezumi's story, which is even more chaotic in terms of its framing everywhere. Holy fucking shit, no way. Hold on. I need to censor that. Okay. I'm gonna lose my fucking shit. I'm not joking. I did a quick flip through of this beforehand, so I didn't go through every page. I'm doing this because I can't show the other page, but this shit is fucking signed too. That is undeniable. I think that is undeniable. Okay, oh my god, this is actually insane. All right, there's my live reaction of finding this book too is signed. Holy fuck. Like, okay, this one you can easily tell it's in red pen, number one. Number two, you can see the ink splotches as well. I'm losing my absolute mind. Holy shit. And again, this one did not advertise that it was signed at all. In my head, I'm trying to think maybe because these were a smaller print run that they were like more easily signed, because you know I don't think that, or maybe like, yeah, there were a lot more of them signed because, you know, Ichiba had them with him because they were self-published and all that. But wow, okay, 2 out of the 3 books have been signed, all of them insanely rare. I did not know that, so that's my luck for 2027. God, that is absolutely insane. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, extremely happy on that. Wow. Yeah, I'm speechless right now. I did not know that was signed. I have had cases where, just in terms of books in general, art books and whatnot, finding signatures in there when they haven't been advertised. I probably had that maybe like 2-3 times. But for Ichiba, never, I don't think. Well, I do have his THC book that was signed, but that came signed. Like it said specifically that that was signed with like a little illustration. So that's fine. But this and a woman's heart being signed is absolutely insane. So that discovery just threw me off the entire video. So I will be not really speaking as properly. But wow, that is, yeah, no, that's fucking insane. This one's signed too. Oh my god. Amazing. And also yeah, coming back to this book as well, it's also hard to find many pictures of the interior. So yeah, very gruesome too. Not sure which frog this is, but we've got the main character frog over here. And let me double check the ends of this, because I definitely, you know, after I found the signature in A Woman's Heart, I also went to the back of the other books, including this book, to find whether there was anything. So, you know, I was looking down here. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, nah, no signatures at all. It's a very cool ending panel of a hellscape. But yeah, I was looking here, I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm happy with the other one being signed, but the fact that this one is signed too, and very distinctly so. Like the other one I was saying, you know, oh, it was debatable, that I believe so. I think if you compare, actually, now that I think about it, this gives more evidence to this being signed, because even though I'm convinced it's signed, if you take a look at the pen ink, the way it's signed here, and then you take a look at this, that to that, same thinness of the pen, same notation, like the way he's signed. Just fucking insane. Oh my god. Okay. There you go. So that's the end of this video. The most fun video I've ever recorded, just because of, you know, you get my live reaction to how shocked I was at finding out. Number one, 2 books out of the 3 books that I've bought are signed. All 3 of these books are rare too. And third thing, it's all from Ichiba, by my favorite artist of like all time. So, you know, just an insanity of a fine insanity in terms of luck spent. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will keep a lookout, you know, it's not going to be soon, but eventually I will make another video with the other Ichiba things coming through. Again, they're not as rare, but any Ichiba addition to my collection is a video worthy topic to talk about. But yeah, this is the first time, actually no, this is not the first time, no. I think maybe on video once, maybe a year or 2 ago, there was an instance I remember where I did find a signature in a book that I did not expect. I don't exactly remember what book it was, what artist it was, but somewhere in my catalog of videos for the past years, there is one video where I actually did also find a signature on a book that I did not expect, and you saw my live reaction there. But this is on a different level, I think, just because of number one, there's 2 of them, it's all rare, and it's Ichiba. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.